Hello, Peter English, and these are my concluding comments about the redesign for Criminology 155, the biology of criminality. Um, just briefly, I want to say that thank everyone associated with the Academy, Rudy, Jolynn, Sue, and Mary, for all of your help and patience. They're just terrific. Um, Looking forward to the actual redesign and further collaboration. I know there's a pretty steep learning curve that we'll all have, but I'm genuinely looking forward to it. A little scared at first, but the potential for what we can do with our class is something that I'm looking forward to. First of all, I think that some of the things that I want to tackle right away, and again, I hadn't, a little chagrined, hadn't really thought about it before, but listening to Rudy talk about the importance of the outcomes and just paying attention to them. You know, we thought that more was better. I think we have 9 learning outcomes, and I know that we haven't always achieved them. Sometimes, particularly toward the end of the semester, where it's a real rush to get things in, that we don't maybe do as good a job as we have. I think really looking at those and paring them down and doing a few very well, than just trying um, to do all of them, and some of them rather poorly, and also never really considered looking at the department outcomes and see how they're consistent. Um, the department outcomes are pretty straightforward, and I think the ones that we have listed are maybe a little too complicated. They're achievable, but I think there's just too much on the plate, either both for us and the students. And I think also, having identified the relevant, appropriate learning outcomes, the tools that we select for redesigning the course and the assessments that we select for assessing those outcomes will fall out of this reconceptualization we have for the course. And I think that reconceptualization has its origins with looking at these outcomes and revising them and tightening them up and making them more practical and relevant for the students. Some of the other specific things are, and this was brought home for me just the other day, getting an email from a student who failed the course and is looking now to take the course for the 3rd time. This is the 2nd time she's failed it, needs to take it for the 3rd time. And I think if I had been a little more cognizant, not a little more, cognizant at all of the retention center and some of the tools that are available to us, I may have been able to identify this student earlier on in the process and directed her or to the right resources where she could have gotten some help, maybe some tutoring, or at the very least just called her into the office and asked her what's up, and trying to get her some help that way. A couple of other things that we'll be looking at is the assessment tools. I think the numbers that we've had in the classes have dictated the way that we've been doing assessments, multiple choice exams, some exercises, online exercises. But I see now that we can be a lot more creative. And again, it was the great benefit of the Academy was just exposing me to a number of different tools that have always been there in some form or other, and have just not been aware of or took the time to investigate. And now I see that there's some really good possibilities, and I think the students will enjoy it. And along those lines as well, it's something that I said earlier during the Academy, is that this has been a terrific process for looking at some ideas and some tools and some resources that can engage or re-engage the students and help them with some difficult material. And maybe this is I think it is, for me at least, the overall benefit of the Academy is that this has re-engaged me in the course and its content, and got me excited again about some of the different things that we can do. And that may be the biggest victory of all. And also, not limiting these ideas just to the course that we were working on over the last couple of weeks, but really to all of my courses. I'm excited about some of these ideas, maybe more so for some of my courses, like Criminology 153, the Psychology of Crime. We have more sections of those, we have more students in them, and I think they would benefit and I would benefit from some of the ideas that we've had over the last couple of weeks. And that's it pretty much, I think. Thanks once again to Rudy, Jolynn, Mary, and Sue. Look forward to working with you, and look forward to staying in touch with our group and trading ideas and seeing what works and doesn't work, and ultimately seeing what this course looks like 6 months from now. So again, thank you very much, and good luck everybody.